Hi everyone, and welcome back to Queen G's Recipes. And today we are going to be making a delicious chocolate espresso bundt cake. It is so good, pretty easy to put together, and is just wonderful. You are going to love it. So let's go over the ingredients we'll be needing here today. Here we have some brewed coffee. So you just want to make sure that it's at room temperature, or you can have it cold from the fridge. Either way, it will be fine. Here we have some sugar. Here we have a mixture of dry ingredients. We have some flour, unsweetened cocoa powder, some baking soda, cinnamon, salt, and some baking powder. Here we have some eggs, some milk, vegetable oil, some instant espresso powder. Now, if you don't have any instant espresso powder, you can use instant coffee powder. It's okay, it will still be delicious. And here we have some vanilla extract. Now, for the milk, we will be warming it up in our microwave for about 30 seconds until it is about warm, lukewarm to warm. And then we will be dissolving our instant espresso powder, or if you're using coffee powder, into the milk. And that's about it. You also want to have your oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and you also want to have a large bundt cake pan that has been greased with some butter, and it has also been dusted with some unsweetened cocoa powder. I mean, you could use some flour, but I do prefer to use the cocoa powder because it doesn't leave any of the white flour on the cake once it's baked, and so I prefer to use that, and I do recommend it as well, but it is up to you, whatever you want to use. And that's pretty much it. We will be adding a chocolate ganache, but that will be later on once our cake is baked and cooled. So for now, let's move on to making our chocolate espresso bundt cake. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is sift all of our dry ingredients that we had in a bowl into a separate bowl, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I warmed up my milk in the microwave for 30 seconds. Just going to give it a little stir here. And now we are going to add in our instant espresso powder, or if you're using instant coffee powder, and stir until everything is dissolved here. Okay, so into a nice clean bowl, we are going to add in our sugar and our vegetable oil, and we are going to give these ingredients a good whisk. Okay, so your mixture will look like this, and that is completely normal. Now we are ready to add in our eggs, so we will add them in one at a time, mixing well after each addition. Okay, so now we are ready to add in our milk and coffee mixture, which we made earlier, and our vanilla extract. And then we will give our mixture a good whisk again. And then after that, we will add in our flour and dry ingredients that we sifted, and we will alternate it with our cold brewed coffee. Now you want to make sure that the coffee is already cooled and at room temperature, as I mentioned in the beginning. And that's pretty much it. So we will start with our flour, and we will end with our flour as soon as we are done adding in these ingredients. Okay, so I have switched to a handheld electric mixer. I do suggest you use it from the beginning. It is so much easier, or if you have a standing mixer and you want to use that, it's completely up to you, but it is so much easier than using a whisk, and your whisk might break on you once you add the dry ingredients. So definitely suggest a handheld mixer for this. And what I'm going to do now is, as I mentioned before, add in the flour and the dry ingredients that we sifted earlier. And I'm going to alternate it with the coffee, starting and ending with our dry ingredients. Okay, so my cake baked for exactly 1 hour at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I placed it on a cooling rack for about 10 minutes. Then I inverted it onto a platter, and then I allowed it to cool to room temperature. Now, if you're going to be placing a topping or an icing or a ganache like I'm doing today, then you want to make sure that your cake is cool to room temperature and we don't have anything dripping off or melting off of our cake. So now that our cake is cooled, we are ready to work on our ganache. So what I have here is some semi-sweet chocolate chips, okay? And I also have some heavy cream. I placed it into a bowl because I'm going to be warming it up in my microwave and then placing it on top of my chocolate chips. Okay, so my heavy cream was in the microwave for 1 minute and it was at the perfect, very hot temperature. And then I poured it over my chocolate chips and I let it sit exactly as it was for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I gave it a good whisk and until it became nice and smooth, as you can see here. Okay, and now you don't want to pour this over your cake as it is because it is still very warm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in the fridge and allow it to cool off. Once it's cooled off, I will give it a good stir and then I'll pour it over my cake, and then I might add some chocolate shavings. Not quite certain right now, but it is optional if you want to add some chocolate shavings or chocolate sprinkles or white chocolate, whatever you like, and it will be wonderful. So for now, I'm going to place it in the fridge and then I'll meet you right back here when we are ready to place it on top of our cake. Okay, so my ganache was in the fridge for 25 minutes. That was enough time for it to cool and thicken up, as you can see, okay? It is a nice, luscious, and thick ganache. And now I am ready to just place this over my cake, and then I'm going to allow it to sit for a little bit longer so our ganache sets a little bit, and then I will cut a slice and we will try it. I cannot put into words how amazing this cake is. It is super, super moist, and the outer layer is just like a crunchy, chewy brownie, the outside of the cake. And then you have this amazing thick ganache that is just perfection, almost like the thickness of a frosting. It just suits the cake so well. And it is so wonderful, so chocolatey, perfect amount of sweetness all around, frosting and cake, and pretty easy to put together. It is so delicious. You are going to love this. And it's going to be your favorite chocolate cake, I promise you that. And that's about it. So simple to put together, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a nice big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload a new and delicious recipe. Share the recipe with your family and friends, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. The links will be in the description box below, along with the recipe. And I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye, everyone.